Hello and welcome to the United Stands. It's our Manchester United Transfer Daily where we take all the latest transfer news and give it that real fan opinion, which you won't get mostly in the press. So, as you can see, Ozil, who else is below me? Sandro, Gollum. Don't worry about Gollum, it doesn't mean David Moyes is coming back. There is a genuine player in relation to that. We'll also be talking about Danny Rose, Lassana Diarra, PSG and a couple of other things as well. But let me start off with Ozil because was it yesterday, said Mahrez and Ozil. What a couple of signings that would be for January. Absolutely brilliant. Last night we saw Ozil playing for Arsenal against Chelsea, which surprised me. I didn't think he was going to play in that. And I think, I never say never. I'd love Ozil to sign for Manchester United this month, and it can happen, but I'm not as confident as maybe as I was 24 hours ago. I think that deal can only happen if Ozil drives it, and for the reasons I said yesterday, for him to drive it, he's got to say, I want to go to Manchester United, I don't want to go anywhere else, you're going to lose me for free in May, let me go now for £20 million, and if you don't, I'm not going to play for you much anyway, because I don't want to risk getting injured. And then last night he goes and plays. I know it's a big game against Chelsea, London derby, but he goes and plays in that game. And for me, with the comments that came out a few hours before that about Arsenal making him a better player and this, that and the other, and it's a big club, I'm starting to lean towards maybe. And if you listen to a look at some of the big top Arsenal fans out there, they are tweeting a lot about Ozil, that if they don't know something or if they get it wrong, they're going to get those retweeted mercifully if he does sign for us. So I'm starting to think that Ozil might sign a new contract at Arsenal, or he's going to go abroad in May and not come to United. And to be honest with you, just in relation to Ozil, I don't know what you lot think. My theory on Ozil is that he's only a good signing for United if he's coming in January. If he's coming in the summer, there's better, bigger players we should go for. I'd go for Ozil now because he'd improve us now, and we do lack a creator of that quality. I wouldn't go for Ozil in... Well, I'll tell a lie, I would, because he's free, but I'd want Dybala or Griezmann in the summer as well. You can't get a Dybala or Griezmann in January. You could get Ozil if he wants to come in January for a decent price. So for me, Ozil's a January signing or not at all. I'd rather go for Dybala or Griezmann. I don't know what you lot think about that. The next one I want to talk about is Alex Sandro. We've been linked to him a few times. He's a fullback, as I said last night. I don't really want us signing a fullback in January because I don't see why we need to do that. We've got Luke Shaw, we've got Ashley Young, we've got Valencia, Twansibi can play at right back. I don't think Darmian's going to go. I think money needs to be spent on a winger and attacking midfielder, but apparently we've moved ahead of Chelsea in the race for Alexandro, and Alexandro has always been linked to Chelsea, so that's quite interesting in itself. Just on fullbacks, Danny Rose is a topic of conversation again. I think it was in the Sun that Danny Rose is, we've been linked to Danny Rose a lot. Danny Rose seemed to be in quite a perilous situation at Spurs a couple of months ago, where he came out and said that he wanted to go into bigger and better things. Pochettino wasn't happy, but he has started playing him again. But I think also in the last couple of months what we've seen is Luke Shaw, and I think Luke Shaw's better than Danny Rose when he's on his game, and he's gradually getting back to what Luke Shaw's game is. He's not quite there yet, but he's staying fit, he's playing consistently. He's better than Danny Rose. We don't need to spend £50 million on Danny Rose when we've got Luke Shaw. And I think it would be an absolute tragedy if we bought Danny Rose and didn't use Luke Shaw, or we sold Luke Shaw. I think it goes against Manchester United and what we're all about. We bought a young player from Southampton. Was he 18 at the time? For a lot of money, and he was going to be one of the world's best left backs. He can still be that. Whereas Danny Rose is a 27-year-old, ex-Spurs player. Luke Shaw fits in better as far as I'm concerned. But I know a lot of people disagree with me on that one. Who else? PSG. Spoke about Lucas Moura last night. Big tumbling odds that you can get on Lucas Moura coming to Manchester United. As I said last night, he's turned us down once. He strikes me as a bit of a mercenary. We need people who are going to run through brick walls like Fosu Mensah does for Palace. We need that sort of player. I don't think Moura's that. And also, he's playing in a bit of a pub league. He can't even get in the PSG side. He's a cast-off. It doesn't tick many positive boxes for me. If we bought him, obviously I'd give him an opportunity, and he's a good player. But I would rather go for Malcolm from Bordeaux, and I think he's a risk. And I think he's a good player, but I think he's a risk because he's from the French league and not played for a top club, and he's a young lad. But Lucas Moura for me doesn't fit. But PSG apparently are trying to offload players, and PSG do have other players that I would look at. Meunier, the fullback, although I don't really want a fullback in January, I would take him. Draxler would be brilliant if they'd be silly enough to let him go. So PSG are worth keeping an eye on, especially if they're going to have Fellaini. Come on. Apparently they want Fellaini. Let him have him. Let him have him. Lassana Diarra, I've got to talk about this. We were lit. I don't even know where it came from. It was yesterday afternoon. I was in some group chat and somebody mentioned Lassana Diarra. He's played for a lot of clubs. Arsenal, Chelsea, Portsmouth, obviously all around the world. He was in United Arab Emirates League. He's about 33 now, and apparently United are looking at getting him because he's a free agent. So he's a United Arab Emirates League reject. OAP, Jordan Henderson, and United are looking at getting him. Brilliant, brilliant. Let's do it. No, let's not. Please, let's not. Let's not do that one. Diarra, Sandro, Rose, Gollum. Okay, let's do Gollum. Let's do Gollum. I mean, I'm probably doing him a massive disservice, but Napoli, Manchester United. I just want to get this one right. Okay, it's... Okay, let's read it off here. So, it was in Tutto Sport. That's why I wanted to find out where it had come from. So, Tutto Sports in Italy, basically saying that Napoli allow Fezou Gulam to join Manchester United once transfer of replacement goes through. The replacement is Alejandro Grimaldo from Benfica. £53 million release clause for Gulam from Napoli, and Manchester United are on the verge of replacing him, apparently. Algerian, 26 years of age. He's only just put pen to paper on a new deal at Napoli, Gulam, but they are looking to bring in Grimaldo, which would free him up. Conte and Jurgen Klopp also an admirer. I cannot see that deal happening at all. And also, when it comes to Gollum, if you put him on a ring on his finger, he goes missing. But I can't see anything happening on that. But a few people had said, why have you not mentioned it yesterday? Because I really just think it's a nonsense story, which is why I've tried to go down the comic route with it. Probably failed with that, but no, I don't see anything in that. Somebody said it on this. Look, there's a couple of videos. We went live again. We did the 8 o'clock video last night where we were talking about like Lucas Moura and a few other things. If you've not watched that, we also went live again at 11 o'clock because of the story that came out about Mourinho quitting Manchester United, which you haven't seen overnight. Do go and give it a watch. I'll put a little link. It's probably in your recommended videos anyway, but I think it's entitled "Fears Mourinho's going to quit Manchester United." But what I did say in that towards the end, which I wanted to say tonight, this morning, was that. Manchester United January's a short month. Well, it's a month. It's not a lot of time to do a lot of business. And we play Derby County tomorrow, and that's the 5th. And then we don't play Stoke until the 14th or the 15th. That's a 10-day break, and it's unusual because we knocked out the League Cup. We would have been playing midweek next week, and we would normally play Saturday or Sunday, but we're Monday night football. So we've got 10 days where I think Manchester United really, if we're either going to do business or not, and we need to do it in that business because you're over halfway the month after the Stoke game. So that is key. This is key. I think get Derby County out of the way, and it's a key time for United to get some business done. And, I hope we do. I really hope we do. Anyway, drop a like on the video if you like Transfer Daily. Give us your comments below on everything we've discussed and anything we haven't discussed that you think we should discuss on the future shows, because we do read your comments. Really interested. As you'll know, if you're new to the United Stand, make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner with the icon, and hit your bell so you get notified when we go live, because we will go live when they do sign somebody, which I'm convinced we will. But we enjoy the transfer chat on the United Stand. We're doing this for 3 years now. The summer's obviously a lot bigger than January, but this January just feel like it's got something about it, something different. So get comments in below. There is a player I really want to talk about, and I nearly fitted him in today, because when it's a quiet day, I want to bring in players that, bit not necessarily left field, but it could be an Eric Bay sort of signing is what we call it, and there's a player I really like, so I'll probably do him tomorrow. But thanks everyone for watching. Do get commenting below if there's any players that you think we should be talking about, and do get commenting about the players that we have discussed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the Mourinho quitting United video, because that was quite a good, it was a really good video because it got quite passionate, and I don't think he's quitting, by the way, but watch the video. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you tonight at probably 9 o'clock. I think we'll go live tonight. I don't think I'm going to be there for 8, but 9 o'clock definitely. Thanks for watching.